Hey guys, my name is Lauren Ratcliffe, and I'm just turned 36 years old as of this past Wednesday. Today is August the 5th, 2017. I want to talk about my life with autism in this video, and I want to explain the fact that I plan on putting more videos up about this condition because I want to help other people with this condition and parents with this condition. I was raised in an era where autism was really rare, let alone the type of autism that I'm officially diagnosed with, which is called Asperger's syndrome. I was diagnosed with that in 1994. Yes, I would say my symptoms started when I was around 2. I have a few sensory issues. I have the social issues, just like a lot of other people with this condition do. But my main conditions are, my main issues that I've always experienced are the meltdowns, for sure, and anything that dealing with the meltdowns. And of course I have this, I do have the social stuff, and like a lot of other people on the spectrum, I had my fair share of bullying and plenty of it. Okay, so why am I here? Well, despite all of my challenges, I was able to obtain a college degree from Kentucky Christian University in Grayson, Kentucky, which is close to where I live, in 2011. After working on and off since I was 18 to earn a college degree, I graduated from high school in 1999, and I took some college classes for a year. Then I dropped out of college after my second semester because I was really frustrated and dealing with a lot because I couldn't pass math. Then I decided to enter cosmetology school. Well, I did, and I graduated. And like cosmetology school, and while I was in college, I did have my fair share of discrimination against getting into programs and getting jobs because of my disability. There's a lot that I would like to talk about in my video series. I just thought I would give some brief, very, very, very brief information about me right now. In addition to autism, I also suffer from some physiological conditions that can be associated with autism. But then again, there's some that I have that are not. And I also suffer from a few of the comorbidities, like OCD and panic attacks mostly. I gave 3 speeches about autism. This year, there were 3 in a row. This year was my 3rd speech about the disorder. It was done in June. And I did okay, despite the fact that I just had a major surgery. Okay, here's what I plan to talk about in my video series that I'm going to hopefully and successfully get posted on YouTube. Definitely I made up a tip list. There's somehow going to be several videos that are going to include one of those in, and I'm definitely going to include those somehow, hopefully and prayerfully include those in my topic sessions that I'm going to talk about on autism. and there's like, and it's a list that I created. It's 35 or something like that. Things long with advice that I learned along the way about dealing with Asperger's syndrome and autism. Well, my topic sessions are going to include definitely, and this is my first, the introduction video, and in all of them you're going to hear something about me, about my history with something related to that video. Well, definitely I think I want to go on with the history, a few videos on the history of autism, and the causes of it, and what I think of this modern day diagnosis of it. And then also, I want to talk about the symptoms of it, boys versus girls, maybe. Well, and when I talk about the symptoms, I want to include a second one, just a whole segment about the meltdowns, because that's probably the biggest challenge for autism, and it has been for me, and it still is. I want to include well, and not only the symptoms of it, and a whole segment on meltdowns, but I also want to include stuff on basics on, well, a few segments on some of the few major other symptoms of it, and I want to include the topic on special interest for sure, education, employment, discrimination, social stuff, social issues that people have a hard time with. And also under discrimination, I forgot to add that I want to add bullying, and because that's an issue in all age groups of autism. Discrimination and bullying is, well, of course, getting it diagnosed and treatment for it, taking care of your health with autism, dating and relationship and marriages, even though I'm still single and really never had a serious relationship, even though I went on a few dates before. Well, different things about living independent, like most definitely money management. And when I'm talking about money management, I think I want to include something about that for caregivers too, because I feel like money management is important when it comes to dealing with autism because of insurances. And you're gonna need to have emergency backup plans, and when you have emergency backup plans, you're going to need extra money from time to time, because autism, you will have emergencies at times, and there is going to be stuff that insurances that won't cover, that may be an effective treatment for the person. So I'll talk about that and the independent living and money management thing that I'd like to talk about. And I also want to talk about dealing with autism. Having changes in routines is a biggie, and dealing with it from a religious perspective. And those right there are the main ones, but I think I'm probably gonna put in a few extras. I'm probably gonna add in, well, what I mean by extras is more videos. But those right there are the main ones. Oh, and also I do want to add that I'm going to add one on the importance of health care and taking care of your health with autism and Asperger's syndrome. I want to have this and all my other videos from a patient perspective, from my own perspective, and with someone else. And I want to talk to caregivers about it. And also, I want to talk about management of comorbid disorders. Actually, I'm thinking about having 2 or 3 segments on those, because I want to talk about the ones that I'm diagnosed with. And also, another important video thing is I want to talk about the importance of always treating them with respect. And sometimes we don't always treat autistic people with respect, even though we mean to. We may not mean it, but when you say something to an autistic person around them out of anger or frustration, it can be harmful. It can be serious. And I also want to talk about church and autism. I grew up in church my whole life. And even though I love my church, I feel like that, I think that churches should deal with people on the spectrum and have services tailored to them. And I will talk more about each of these in detail. I just thought I would let you all know. So anybody that wants to subscribe to my YouTube channel, once I get things set up, please feel free to do so.